Welcome back. We're going to take you through the papers now with the economist Ashok Kumar and the barrister Abha Pandya. And kicking off with you, Ashok, a little bit politics, Corbyn and Blair.
Right. So Blair is saying that it's an existential threat, that Corbyn poses an existential threat. But I think the evidence shows that the only existential threat is actually Blairism. If you look across Europe, third-way Blairite politics is collapsing everywhere. And, it's outdated politics. This really sort of represents the kind of critique of the Iraq War, loads of different kinds of policies. And Blair comes across as this kind of ghoulish character. And I think that actually many people have said that, if there was any justice in this world, Blair would probably be locked up in a dungeon somewhere in The Hague, rather than traveling the world and accumulating an enormous amount of money, enriching himself to the tune of £60 million from some of the worst autocrats in the world,
but
and attacking...
He's still able to comment on the Labour Party.
Of course he
can.
The
Labour Party that he led quite successfully for quite a long time.
No, but the reason why it falls flat is this reason. Corbyn was twice democratically elected in a larger mandate than Blair ever was. His party now combined is larger than any other party in the country combined. And, he's leading in 4 points in the most recent election and is the largest left party in all of Western Europe. So I think some of the critique that Blair, almost all of the critique Blair is making, sort of falls pretty flat.
But within the Labour Party, only today, we've got Chuka making this speech later on this morning, really saying that the moderates are still a substantial element in the party and that they should be taken account of.
The moderates, which actually are the right of the party, are pretty much people that were parachuted into safe seats when Blair and Brown were in. And now people are saying we need mandatory reselection, which is a more democratic function to hold people elected. These aren't jobs for life.
Hold on a minute, Ashok, I'm trying to understand. Yeah. Are you actually advocating that the Labour Party should only represent one series of views? Because then you're going to have difficulty getting elected.
No, I'm saying they should be more democratic. Just because someone parachuted you into a safe seat doesn't mean that you should have that job for life. The members and the constituents should decide whether that you should continue, and they should have mandatory reselection every time. And that's up for debate now, both within the party and within the big unions.
Right. Any thoughts? I should just want to point out, actually, you mentioned some very negative things about Tony Blair. Of course, he's not been accused of any war crimes or anything else.
That is the tragedy. He took us to a war that killed 1 million Iraqis. It's destabilized the region. We're still living with the consequences of that. And he's never been held to account. How can we justifiably call out other leaders in the country that are in the world that have done atrocities and say they should be sent to The Hague when he's not at the dock of The Hague?